Hey, how's it going, everyone? So this week I'm going to do something I haven't done yet, and I'm going to actually review something. I'm going to review something called the Weebill Lab Gimbal from Zhiyun, or I think most people are calling it Zhiyun, whichever, I'm not sure is right. First, however, let me ask you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. If I'm providing content you're enjoying, hit the thumbs up. If I'm providing something that you find useful, hit the notification bell so you'll know when it comes out. Also, share my work. It helps people learn and, keeps me doing what I'm doing here and creating. So let's go ahead and talk about what I wanted to talk to you about today. First things first, I am testing out this microphone. It's called a Rode Wireless Go. So far I've really liked it, and I've been having good results with the audio quality, the connection. It's so much easier and it sounds so much better than using like a little microphone on the camera. But it doesn't pick up a lot of ambient sound, so that may or may not be a plus. So I'll probably still use both. That said, I'm testing two cameras currently. I own both of them. I bought both of them. But I'm testing the Z6 and the XT3 as my primary video cameras. I'm using both of these cameras and trying to figure out which one works better for me in my workflow and the results I'm getting from both. And currently, it's interesting. I'm getting better results out of camera with the Z6 than I get with the XT3. I know that's a shock to some. It was a shock to myself. The entire internet seems to be on fire with the XT3 being a video camera and how great it is. And it is. It's a great camera. But the Z6 is providing less noise, cleaner video. Maybe the audio is not quite as good as the XT3, but overall, I'm enjoying the Z6 a great deal. It's a fantastic camera. It locks on the gimbal well, so that little bit extra weight over the XT3 I think is actually a plus on the gimbal. It keeps the gimbal better balanced. I don't know if that's actually true, but it seems to be my experience with it thus far. So, all of that said, let's get to what we're going to talk about today. Last week, B&H had a sale on a gimbal called the Weebill Lab, and I bought one. I decided I'd get one because then it would be one more thing I can offer my clients in my commercial business. And I've already gotten 2 jobs and 1 new client as a result of having the gimbal ability, which it's pretty good. And using the gimbal so far, I'm pretty pleased. I haven't run it through all its paces, but by the end of this video, I will have run it through pretty much everything. I've already shot quite a bit of footage, and if you'll look at last week's video that was shot with this gimbal and the Z6 at the Katzen Arts Center, looking at my friend Artemis Herber's work. So go back and take a look at that. Here's a link. And you'll see the results I'm getting in that video. In this video, I'm also going to show you some of the results I'm getting, and I'll talk more in depth about how this gimbal works. Now, here it is, and I've actually got the XT3 locked up on it at the moment. So, as you see, I've also adjusted some of the settings to slow the gimbal down a little bit so it's more cinematic. So we'll talk some about that in the video as well. But for now, I'll just show you the gimbal and give you a tour. On the back here, we have controls that actually control the camera, unless you're using the Fuji. If you're using the Fuji, you have to start and stop and interfere with the gimbal by hitting play, or I'm sorry, hitting the button to cause it to record, and adjust all of your settings on the camera. If I'm shooting with the Z6, all of these settings work, including start and stop record, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and I can't remember what else, if there's anything else. This gimbal's capable of follow mode, and it's capable of lock mode, so it keeps pointed in the same direction as you move it around, and it's also capable of just standard gimbal mode where you adjust your pitch manually and your left and right, your direction goes with the gimbal. as you see here. So I turn this, and it has some adjustments that allows end rates, so you can adjust how fast or slow it will follow you. As you see, I'm moving along, and it follows along with a little bit of a delay. That allows you to plan your shot a little better. Balances up fine with both of these cameras. With the Z6, I can't easily balance the 2.8 24-70 on it, and it's really not designed for something that big. Excuse me. And but I did get it to balance, and it did work, except the motors would start to shimmy because it's just too much for the gimbal. But sticking with the f4 lenses, like the 24-70 f4 or the 1.8 primes, you're in great shape. On the Fuji, I don't know about the 2.8s. I don't own any of them, but it works fine with the f4s. What I have on here right now is the 10-24. Fantastic lens. Balances up perfectly on here. As you see, there's no problems at all. It's keeping control of it, no vibration. All right. So also, Gimbal offers selfie mode, which is something people like myself will use. So I tap the trigger. There's a trigger here 3 times, and it actually puts it into selfie mode, where then as you're walking, you can keep track of your face, because obviously these two cameras have facial recognition, and use it as a vlogging setup. So let's real fast go over the anatomy of it. If you look at the shape here, a lot of the other gimbals have a battery down here, so that becomes the full height of the gimbal. With this one, it's different. You actually can remove this handle and make the gimbal smaller, which can be problematic if you're trying to do a lot of movement. But it allows you to also put the gimbal back here, or the handle back here, so that then you can put the gimbal into underslung mode, which is like this. And this is genius. So as you move, you are able to get the gimbal to follow. Now, I would suggest, and I'm going to get one for my own use, a second handle for this part, and then the tripod will keep on the bottom. Oh, and I didn't mention, that's a tripod handle. So as we put it on the bottom, they do offer quick releases for this that allow you to take it from here up to here, and I feel like that should have been in the kit, but it's an extra $40 expense. It does come in the Filmmaker's kit, but the Filmmaker's kit is $200 for questionable amount of extra stuff, so I'll probably just buy them separately. But this allows you to set it on a surface, just like the bigger ones have, but those are usually further down. So anyway, there you have it. All right. First thing I'm going to do is go have lunch with my buddy Aaron, and I'll shoot a bunch of video footage of just that trip. We're going to go have ramen, so I'll probably shoot the food as well, and the restaurant. So let's go see to that. Should be a good time. See you there. All right, testing in selfie mode with my buddy Aaron. We're going to have some lunch at, what's the name of this place?
Hatoba.
What?
Hatoba?
Hatoba.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's
Ramen,
ramen.
yes. Should be good stuff. We get some footage of the ramen too. It's a good gimbal testing day. So I'll see you there. So we had ramen for lunch. That was absolutely fantastic. Got a couple of shots in there, a little awkward, but it was cool. Now I've walked down to the waterfront. So lunch the other day was fantastic. The food at Hatoba, I don't know how they say it, was very good. The service was excellent. The environment is fantastic. It's right at the Navy Yard waterfront complex here in DC. They have not too far away Zone 6 parking if you're from the area. But overall, 2 thumbs up. Manager was an excellent guy too. So let's talk about the gimbal. There's things I like about it. There's things I don't like about it. Let's do the things I like first. I like how small it is. I like how compact it is. And I like how light it is. It's not hard to balance. The Ronin SC is known for being easier to set up just because you don't have to have it as balanced and it'll compensate. Whatever. This has to be balanced a little better, but it's not hard to balance, so it's a non-issue. Setting it up is quick and easy. The software interface on the phone, easy enough, not terrible to use. Integration is good with the Z6 and the other cameras that it supports for integration. The XT3, of course, is not an integrated system for it, but what are you going to do? Hopefully Fujifilm and Zhiyun will get together, and Zhiyun, however you say it, will get together and work that problem out. The phone interface is cool. You can set it up with supported cameras like the Z6 or the Sony's and the Panasonic, I think, to actually have the video feed go out to your phone through a Wi-Fi interface. It's a little laggy and low frame rate, but it is invaluable. And I repeat, it is invaluable if you're not using a monitor and you have to do low angle shots or high angle shots and you can't see what you're doing. This will solve that problem, which I really, really like. The settings, well, hold on, let's go back. I said positive first. The quality of the build is very good. It's a durable feeling, pretty tightly put together device. I really I have confidence that it's going to stick around for a while. Nice piece of kit. All right, let's see. Things I would change. I think it needs to come with quick releases for this. So this can be moved to this with just a slide of the lock, and you can take it up and hook it on. That's a $40 extra on something that should have had it to begin with, since that's a feature of this gimbal. And it's not the cheapest gimbal in the world, so something like that really should come with it. I wish it could hold more weight. Now, that they corrected on the S model, which is the new model of the Weebill. It can hold a little more weight, and it's set up with all of the arms to have more room, so you can put bigger payloads on it. I wish that it came with a phone holder. Their phone holder, they want $50 for. See, the accessories that Zhiyun makes for these things are very expensive. So I bought one on Amazon for $11 that even has a 1/4-20 thread on the top to be able to hook a mic or whatever to. It's a nice little holder. It's durable enough. It's got a little bit of wobble to it, not wobble, but flex to it, so you know it's not going to break easily. Hooks right into this 1/4-20 knurled spot here on the side. I wish it came with a phone holder, because that is literally a must-have. If you want to change any real settings on the device, you have to go through your phone interface. If you want to use the video feed, you have to go through your phone. So you have to have something to hold your phone. So getting me for an extra $50 for that and $40 for quick releases is almost $100 on top of the gimbal. That's over 20% more just to get those couple of things that really shouldn't be. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. The controls the controls themselves here on the device, they're good, but they're a little complex. You have to remember button presses and which button press in which direction. So if you want to lock it, you double tap down. No, I'm sorry, see, it's hard to remember. If you want to lock it, double tap up, no. Double tap to the right, no. Oh, it was double tap up. So if you want to lock it, double tap up. To unlock it, double tap again. Tapping in all the directions does something different. Double tap on the POV button puts you in vortex. Triple tap does something else. Holding it puts the gimbal in sleep mode. It's just add a couple extra buttons. It can't be that expensive. Okay, these are nitpicks though. It's still an excellent device and it works quite well. One thing I didn't like out of the box is the basic settings for how the motors work. It's all set to really quick movements, and the motors are all set to their weakest point. That's fine if you're putting a little tiny camera on this gimbal, but any of these mirrorless cameras, from the Sony to the Fujifilm to the Nikon X or Z6 and Z7, you're going to find that you have to have the motors on high. You'll also find that you really need to just slow the movements down in the software. And I'll go over that now. Once you're in your software, you go to the menu at the top right. And then you go to scene mode. From there, you go into custom. The settings you change in custom are going to be as follows. The follow tilt, you're going to put at 10. The follow roll, you're going to put at 40. The follow pan, you're going to put at 10. The control rate, you're going to change all three control rates to 5. And then your dead zones, I like them at 1, 5, and 1. So 1, 5, and 1. This gives you a good balance. Then hit save, name it. I'm going to call this one temp, and hit done. Oh, I already have one of those. I'm going to name it Tempe, and then hit done. And that's it. You get out of here and you're back in your software. So that is really my primary gripe. When I first started using it, it didn't respond like I thought it should. My footage looked terrible, and why it didn't come with a sort of usable set of settings out of the box, who knows. But there's plenty of videos out there that will explain how to set it up and get you where you need to go. That's pretty much it for my thoughts on this gimbal. I love it. I'm going to make money with it. I'll be using it through all my jobs where I need to have any kind of smooth footage. This will be what I take along to do it. I don't need anything bigger. I'm not even shooting DSLRs anymore. I got out of them last year, and I'm just on mirrorless cameras now. So it's plenty of gimbal. And maybe the S version is even better. But for me, it's not a compelling upgrade, unless you want to use a much bigger lens, which I have no interest in. Bottom line, Zhiyun, you made a great gimbal. This is really a fantastic device. It's doing what I need, and I'll buy from you guys again. I'm not sure you'll take into account what I'm saying, but maybe think about the stuff I said about putting the quick release and the phone holder in the box, my two biggest gripes, and you'll be fine. Or not, and you'll still be fine. We'll all buy it anyway, right? Hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I'll say it again, please subscribe. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Set the notification bell so you know when my videos come out. And share my videos. They only help people learn. And there's nothing better than learning, especially when it comes to photography. Thank you for joining me again this week, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
And if you can, please enjoy the show.
I'm a walking Liberty Bell. Freedom ring through my stride. Freedom to be inside and be a slave to my pride. And right away to scream. Man, this love's so serene. I should probably shake it up just a little bit. I'm so not fine with content. I'm so in line with my stench. My career probably smell like piss, bitch. Switch hit on the line. You take a dip, I just dive into the shallow end, cause the ground needed a duck. Write a song about Phillies while I eat in LA. Cause my bars ain't constrained by my time and my space. Eating breakfast in LA, all alone by myself. All the pretty people around me reading books about self-help. Damn, I'm so lonely. I wish I knew how to be fine all by myself. Damn, I'm so lonely. I wish I didn't need to